Welcome back, everyone. In this one, we're going to be covering one of the newer web parts that are available on SharePoint, and that is the editorial cards. So this is how SharePoint describes them. So if you you can create a stunning page with the new editorial card web part. We're excited to unveil the editorial card web part as a versatile new feature designed to elevate the aesthetics and functionality of your SharePoint pages and news. And this is an example of how they look. So they're kind of a cool little feature to be able to add to your site. So let's go ahead and head back over to our SharePoint site, and we're going to add in our editorial card. So per usual, we'll hit edit, and then we'll scroll down to the part of the page that we want to add the editorial card. So we'll click on this and we'll search it, editorial, and it's right there. All right, and this is how it's going to look by default. So we can add a section or a category name, a headline, and describe what your story is about. And then we have our little button. So from here, we can go ahead and we can adjust, I guess, how we want that text to display. So we have this style, and then we have the initial image overlay that we saw before. We also have these advanced options where it's similar to the image editor that we saw on one of our previous videos, where we can add a filter. We can make adjustments, we can edit and crop the image, we can change the focal point. So we can do really whatever we want. So we can also go ahead and edit the properties. So this is kind of the same thing we saw before. You can change the layout options. We can change where we want the text to be centered. So we want it to be centered or left aligned. We can add an animation, and an animation adds a depth effect when your browse through the page preview or publish to view animations. In addition to that, we can also add kind of a different look here. We can add a background image. So let's go ahead and choose a stock image. And let's do these leaves. And look at that. Looks so professional, right? And we can also add an overlay color, but I'm good with this. This looks good. Choose how opaque we want it to be. And we can either add or remove these different text options up here. So depending on what you need to your page, we can have their button, we can have an icon, we can have text. So depending on how you want to link out. And we'll do the same thing. We're going to link over to YouTube. So learn more. That's where we want the button text to be. So we'll just click here. Okay. All right. And then let's go ahead and remove some of these different, so we don't want that. We can have our headline. Do you love videos? YouTube has billions of them. Okay. And then once we publish and we click on click here, it should take us over to YouTube. And there it goes. So this is helpful, I guess, if you're trying to promote stuff within your page. And you could also remove the button if you wanted to, and you could just use it to advertise something on your page. So you can see on their example, they had a profile of this person, and they kind of just used this to advertise the profile. So they had that banner up top, the editorial card up top, and then below that they would have the actual content of the article. So hopefully you guys can find a great use case for this. I think it looks very nice. SharePoint is continuing to roll out these different web parts, and it gives you guys a lot of flexibility when you're building out your pages.